Yo, what's up everybody, Tweets here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an openable container. So I have made a video on how to make a custom container. Now we're just going to pretty much take that, tweak a few things, and apply things to make it open and close. So pretty much like everything else that I've done in your P drive, create your folder. You got a data folder in there, a scripts folder, and this config right here, which will be the cfgmods config. Inside the data, you'll have a folder for your crate or container, whatever you're making. Inside there, you'll have a data with a config for the container, which we're going to go over all that. And then inside that data, we'll have all your textures, your rvmats, your model, and your model.cfg. So what you do first, obviously, you make your folder, you get your structure set up, and then you start converting over your textures, which I've shown multiple times on a few of my videos. But real quick, you just bring up your DayZ tools. Now with whatever model you buy or download, most cases it comes with textures. Most of the time you'll get a base color, you'll get a metallic, and you'll get a normal. So pretty much you're just going to open text view, and you're going to take those PNGs that you get, you're going to drag them right over and drop them into text view, and then you're going to save it as, go to your folder that you just made in your P drive that you're working on, put it in your crate folder or container folder, and save it as whatever the name, like sample crate. Now for the base color, you're going to use _co.paa, just like that, and then you're going to save it. And you're going to do the same thing for the metallic and the normal. So the metallic you'll just drag it and drop it, save it as. Now, just like what you just did with the base color, instead of _co, you're going to have _smdi.paa. Save it. Same thing with the normal, which is the bluish looking texture. You're going to get that, save it as, instead of the CO or SMDI, you're going to do no HQ. Just like that, .paa. And then you're going to save it. And that'll convert your textures into PAA. Now for the rvmats, which I've talked also, I just went, for this container, I went to my P drive, DayZ, here, I went to camping, data, and I scrolled all the way down and took the C chest rvmats. So I just took the top one, C chest, and then I took the damage and destruct. I copied those over, brought them into my crate folder, and then I just renamed them. Inside there, you're just going to deal, since we only have the base color, the metallic, and the normal, you're only going to deal with stage 1, scroll down, and stage 5. Stage 1 will be the normal, which is the no HQ, and the stage 5 will be the metallic, SMDI. So you're just going to go, what's in here already, you're going to go to your folder, get the path to where your textures are, replace the path that's already in there, it'll have the DayZ path, and then for the top one, you're going to get your normal, your no HQ file name, paste it right there, and you're going to do the same thing, but get the SMDI for stage 5 with your path. And it's going to be save, done. You're going to do the same thing, same exact steps in damage and destruct. And that covers textures and rvmats. Now the model. So now you're going to open up Object Builder. You're going to import your model like I've showed you with the other videos. just by import fbats, find your model, and then import it, just the way I showed you before. Once you get your model in, I tend to like to first select the whole thing, make sure it's all red. This one only has one texture, so create one hidden selection. I did ZBTech, so you just select the whole thing, create new, and give it whatever, ZBTech, color, camo, whatever. And then that's your texture selection. Then I like to hit E, which will bring up my face properties. We'll now go with texture, the top one right here. Hit the folder. Go straight to your folder where your textures are. Change TGA to PAC and PAA and grab your CO. Now same thing with material folder, and it should already show, and grab your rvmat, your main one, and apply. Now we're going to bring up our bulldozer so we can preview it. Now that we have our bulldozer up, we can see our texture. We can see it's all textured and showing. So now what we're going to do is go back in, just alt tab back into Object Builder. We're going to create a proxy so we can size this thing. So I'm just going to go with a C chest. So I'm just going to go P, DayZ, here, camping, and look for the C chest. And then when I find it, click it, open, OK. And then go back to your bulldozer and size it. So you're just gonna select your hidden selection that you created, so it only selects your model and not the proxy. Now if you want to size it, you just hold left control, left shift at the same time, while then holding down on your right mouse click, and you can drag down to lower it or up to make it bigger. Now if you want to rotate it, just hold left control, right click, and you can rotate it just like that. Now if you want to rotate it a different way, see the top view here, right click on the top view first, so that way now you're selecting the spots, and then you're going to hold left control, right click, and then you'll start rotating it the other way, just like that. Now you can also just click on the spots here. Say I wanted to rotate it so it would be going kind of like the same way the C chest is going. So I would click on my top view here. I would rotate right up here, this little box here that says rotate. Change the Y to 90 and hit OK. And then boom. And now it's going the same direction as the C chest. But that's just how you'd rotate it. I'm going to keep it this way though, just because that's the way I plan on doing it. So once you have it sized, rotated, and in position, what you want it in position on the darker line in the middle, you want it right up against that line. That's the ground level. Once you have it sized, you click on that little proxy over here in your selections, hit delete on your keyboard to remove the proxy from the model, and then right click and delete the proxy from the selections. So now you have your model sized, positioned, textured, materials, and you have your selection for your texture. Now we're going to get in to get the animation part. So what you want to do is kind of get close to your model, and now you're going to select just the door or the lid parts, which is right here. So I'm just going to select the parts for the lid, and then I'm going to create a new selection, and I'm going to call it lid or door, whatever. Once that's done, now you have two selections. So now you're going to create a memory. Now I've done this before, so this is something that I've already done in the past, so, but I'm going to show you. I just got rid of the, so I can show you how to do the lid axis. So what you're going to do is you're going to look for the line. Now you can see I have the yellow shape of my main LOD, which is the model, in the background. So if you want that, just go to File, Options, View Background LOD, toggle that on, and hit OK. This helps so you can see the model, and it helps so you can position your geometries and your memory points. So what you're going to do for the animation, you're going to look for your line for where the lid meets the body, and then you're going to see, it can be hard to see, it is hard to see. You can see where the hinges are. You're going to put points, locate the hinge, so you're going to go right above that line, click with your mouse once, left click, hit insert. Now I'm going to go right below the line. I'm going to do the same thing, click with my mouse, left click, insert. So now I have 2 points. I'm going to select those 2 points. I'm going to hit Shift D, and then boom, it puts it right on the line, right where I want it, and it combined them. So now I'm going to copy that, Control V, paste it, Control V, and I'm going to hold right click and drag that second one that I just pasted to the other hinge. Now I'm going to go to the top right box, the left one, it's labeled left. Zoom right into the model, and I'm going to take that, make sure those points are lined up so I can see that it's not quite lined up. And right there, I'm going to line it up, and then I'm going to select, so just both those points are selected, and I am going to drag it to where the hinge is on this side. So there we go. So now you can see that it's where I had it on the front view, but now it's towards the back of the box where the hinge is on the left view. Once you have that, you're going to make sure those 2 points are selected. Create new, call it lid or door underscore axis. Enter. Once you have the memory points of the lid, even if you don't have the geometry stuff yet, or these other memory points, which I'm going to go over here in a minute, even if you just have the lid axis and your main LOD set up, save it. So save as, and then save it. So now what you're going to do is do your model config. So what you're going to do, it's a basic model config. The only difference is it has a CFG skeletons and animations. So what you're going to do here is your CFG. So first, the class names. For the skeletons, you're just going to go with your model name that you just saved. You're going to do the exact name, paste it, underscore skell. Then you're going to put, for skeleton bones, lid, which will be your selection for the lid. That's in your P3D. Then you're just going to do the class name for your item, your actual class name, so it's just your model name without the skeleton, just your model name. And then your same skeleton name, you're going to have the same class as that top one. Just like that. Now your selections, you're going to have exactly what you have in here. Your main LOD, lid, and ZBTech or camo, whatever you used. Just like that. Now for animations, class is lid because that's our selections that we made. If you did door, you'd use door. This is for the animation part. So lid for the class, lid for the source, and lid for the selection. That's for this whole LOD right here, and it's calling on this selection. Now, for axis, you're going to have lid axis, which is the memory points you just made. And that's going to be that same exact selection. You're not going to need to mess with this stuff here, source address, match value. That's just going to stay as is. Now, the angle, you're going to keep the first angle that's closed, 0.0. Now, if you have negative, which is what I have here, meaning it'll open proper, upwards. If you remove that negative, it's going to open downwards, so it won't go upwards properly. Now, if you want it to go downwards, by all means, remove the negative. And then memory true. And then closed off. And that's going to be your model.cfg. Save that. Once you have saved, what you're going to do then is you're going to click on your memory LOD again, and then back to your main LOD, just to refresh Bulldozer. And then bring up Bulldozer, and use your mouse wheel. Scroll down for it to open, and up for it to close. And now, as you can see, now the animation works. And it's right on the line that we want it. Now, this is a free model, so it's not the greatest, but it gets the job done. So, as we see, it's animated, it's working. So now we go back and we do the finalized stuff. So, the main LOD, don't have to touch that anymore. Geometry, just like the other ones I've showed you. I'll do it again real quick, show you. You just create your boxes. So, grab a box, create box. Sometimes mine buds out. Yours might do the same. Just make sure you get it back to straight as close as you can. So it's not all wanky like that. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but, you know, close enough. Alright, so then you make your boxes. So for an openable container, you're going to get your box to go right around your container model, close as you can get it. And you're going to take this top line here on the front view, and you're going to bring it down to the line where your lid meets the body. And then you're going to create another box, or you can just copy that one, paste it, and drag it upward, and bring that down to line it up with the lid. So now you'll have two boxes just like that. Then you're going to select the whole thing, structure, topology, find components. Now, while it's all selected, you're going to go down to mass right here on the bottom. If you do not have that, go to Windows and mass, tick that on, or hit Alt-M, and then you'll have mass. So with it all selected, give it a mass. I'll give it like 30.000, apply, and it gives it mass. Now, we want to make sure that the lid geometry moves with the animations when you open and close. So you're just going to select the lid box that you made, right click, give it lid selection. That's it. And then you can just copy all of that and bring it into a view geometry. So create a new, here I'll just do this, start from scratch here. So you're going to create a new view geometry, paste those right into view geometry, create a new. So fire geometry, same thing, paste it. Now in fire geometry, while it's all selected, hit E. You're going to give it a penetration rvmat. So you hit E for the face properties, go down to material, get the folder, P drive, DayZ, data again, penetration, and select the material closest to what your item is. Now this, I would want it to be a sturdy military crate, so I'm just going to give it metal plate. Or you could give it like one of the armor 1mm plates, that's fine too. Or if you're doing a wooden container, give it wood. But apply, hit OK, and that takes care of all your geometries. Well, except I forgot to tell you, in your geometry LOD, you're going to create a property of auto center. So you just didn't hit new. Name would be auto center, value 0, just like that. And then hit OK. And that's in the geometry LOD. That takes care of the geometry. Now these other points that you see in the memory that I was talking about earlier, real quick, they're your bounding bots min, your bounding bots mats min, C center, in view. So it's the same thing I showed you with the lid axis. So you're just going to point to where you want it. So for bounding bots mats, I usually put it right up here on the top corner of the model. So you're just going to click, hit insert, and it creates the point. And then you're just going to create new and give it the name bounded bots underscore min. Just like what I have it here. And it's the same thing for min, mat, same thing. You point where you want it. CE center, I always put it kind of right in the middle. And kind of, for crates and stuff, I like to kind of put it close to the lid. In view, center of the model, and then just drag it out a little bit on the top view. Zoom out and make sure it's dragged out a little bit. But you can also just open, because I'm going to have the file in description, you could just copy all of them, paste it over to yours, line them up to your model, be done with it. So that takes care of everything except for the res LODs. I'm not going to be able to show the res LODs because Blender updated and broke the armor add-on. You can install an older version of Blender and fix it, but I haven't had the time to actually do that yet. So instead, I will link in my description the video to my Crossbow tutorial, which I do show how to make res LODs, and it is timestamped, so you can just click right on the res LOD section, and boom, it'll show you how to make the res LODs. So, that being said, that takes care of your model. So you just save it, and you can close out of that. So now you have your model config and your model all done. Now, we're going to do the config. So what I did here is, I already did a config here, but what I did is I just went to my P drive, I went to DayZ, gear, then I went to containers, opened that config, and I just took the barrel, vanilla barrel. So what you're going to do is just copy all of this here, all the way down to the bottom of the barrel part, right here, because then below that's just the retextured barrels. Pasted it, and then I closed it off, just like this. And then I started from the top and I worked my way down. So I didn't need any of this other stuff because it's container based. So that was my phone. Anyway, so row container base I didn't need. So I deleted that. Inventory base I didn't need. So I deleted that. Just leaving container base. I gave it my custom class name, which I just use sample container. And then just change your description to whatever you want. Same with your description. Sorry, the top one was display name. Now, this was a base class, so what you always need to add if you're taking a base class config is you're going to, right above display name, you're going to add scope equals 2 semicolon. Otherwise, when you go to spawn an in-game, it won't show up. It'll be nothing there. And then you just didn't get your model path. So right in your P drive where your folder is, get to where your model is, get your path, and replace what's there. Just like that. And then get your model name and replace that. Then you just didn't get rid of what you don't need. So you're not going to need inventory slot stuff for this. You can have it heavy if you want. It can be data set to 0 so you can't bury it. You set it to 1 if you want, and then you can bury it. We don't need quantity bar. We don't need really destroy on empty. Then you just scroll down. We don't need the variable quantity init, min, mats, anything to do with the liquid stuff, random quantity, stat unit. We don't need any of that. Hidden selections, change it to yours. Scroll down to damage system. Hit points, this is set to 1300, so it's actually pretty good. The health of your container, you can raise it, lower it, whatever. Global armor, this is how much damage your container can take before it's all ruined. So this whole damage system. This number, the lower you go for under global armor, so damage equals, the lower you go, it's a little backward. The lower you go, the more protection it is. So if you wanted to actually make it more durable than a container, the barrel dropped down that 8 to like a 5. And it'll be stronger than a barrel. It's not the same with the health hit points. The lower you go on this, the worse it'll be. So you bring that number up and these numbers down. Cargo, that's self-explanatory. So item cargo size 10 by 15, that's 150 slots. Say if you want to make this 300, 10 by 30. Openable, you can change that to 1 instead of 0. Now, animation sources, you only have 1, so you delete the second one here. I used lowercase lid, so just get it. It's the selection from your model, lid. Animation period, now the barrel opens really fast, so what I like to do is I change that to like a 0.15, something like that. Now the rest of the stuff, you're not going to need to change. So scroll back to the top. What I like to do here is I take the DayZ containers that's at the top here, copy it, I put it under required add-ons below DayZ data, put a comma after DayZ data, and now I take my class name and I replace the top class like that. And then you save it as a config.cpp and then put that in. So save as, and it'll be the data folder right by your crate, which I already have there. So that takes care of your config. Now, we're going to do the scripting, which is the fun part. So, you're just going to have in your scripts folder a for world, then an action script, and an entity script. Now, in your action script, we're going to just start from the top, work our way down. I have action close samples already, so this is just for closing. So they're separated. You got open and close. Now, where you can get these samples is you go to your P drive, scripts, for world, classes, scroll down to user action components, actions, interact, and grab action close barrel, and then open that, and then you're going to also scroll down, find action open barrel right there, and then you're just going to do some work in there. So in here for the close one, because that's the first one that opened, you're going to change the class action close to whatever. I went to sample, action close sample, change it to action close container, whatever you name, whatever you want. Then in here for the close one, now you're going to change, you're going to look for where it says barrel color base. That's the class name of the vanilla barrel. You're going to want to change that with your class name. So you're going to get your class name. Now this is Notepad++. So once you double click on one, it's going to highlight all of them. So you go to search, replace, put your class name right under replace with, leaving the vanilla one under find what, hit replace all. Boom. Now automatically set my class name. Now, the only other thing you're going to have to do here is in this section right here, on execute server, you're just going to change one thing right here. And as you'll see what I did here, it's just end target close. Just like that right there. You'll see it's the same thing in the open, so you won't have to change it in the open. It's only on the close. Once you have that done, you're just going to save that. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy your class name at the top, file, save as, go to your P drive, your folder, your scripts, for world, actions, and you're going to paste it, your name. So that's the class name that we have right there. And then you're going to save it. And then that's it. And it's going to be the same steps in here. So change that to sample, just like I did in the first one. Copy it, put it onto the void. Get the class name, same thing. Now, you just did it, so you won't have to do it again. Just hit find or search, then replace, and it will already be there. Just click on it again and hit replace all, and it will do that. And you remember, you don't have to change this part here that you had to do on the close because it's already set like that. And then you just like the last one, copy the class name, save as, go to your folder, scripts folder, for world, actions, paste it under the file name, and hit save. And then boom, you have open close scripts done. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring up our scripts folder, actions, and we have a script in here for modded action constructor. This tells the game to read those two scripts that you just made. So you're just going to have two actions insert, and it's going to be your close script and your open script, which will be the class names at the top of those scripts in the parentheses, just like that, and then save it. And then that's it for the actions. Now, your actual container script. This is pretty much just the vanilla barrel script. Now, some people that know me know that I'm a dumbass, and when I was prepping for the video, I accidentally overrid the vanilla script. So in my P drive right now, the vanilla script is this, which is not the original. It's the barrel script. So what you're going to do, I'll explain what I did real quick, the best I can, because I lost the vanilla one. The only way to do that now is to delete my, is to re-extract my game files. So what you're going to do pretty much is take your class name from your config, you'll see barrel color base on the original script, and you're gonna just paste your class name. What I also did was anything that dealt, because the vanilla barrels have all that crap for tannin, water collections, all that other stuff. You get rid of all, look through and get rid of everything that deals with that. So all you want is anything that deals with open, close. So you can see a lot of things here that say open, close, lock, all that. Keep all that. And then right here, update visual state, I have it set to lid. So you're going to have on both these and then 1, 0. So if will be that one, else will be same thing. Or door, whatever you use for your hidden selection in your model. And then we just have same thing. This is for the sounds, for the open and close. Same here. And then the only thing that I added was this section here, which tells it that it is a container and that it is deployable, so you can place it. And then this here is when you place it, it tells if you can put it in your hands, if you can put it in your cargo, like inventory, all that stuff. So you change. This is set to the vanilla barrel. So how it is, just like with the vanilla barrel, you can place it, and then when you put something in there, you can't pick it back up. So I just left that alone. And then the rest I just kept the vanilla, just for the cargo stuff and the attachments. Then the only thing you're going to add is these actions here. So it's your open close actions that you have here, that you made, your scripts. And then it just has action, toggle place object, and place object. And that's it. Now, I just mentioned that I was a dumbass, but I didn't tell you where to actually find the original script. So let me show you. You just go to your P drive, scripts, for world, entities, item base, and then you'll see barrel color base. But you'll see when I open it, I was a dumbass. And I saved it. So now, but anyways, enough of that. Once you get your script done, just like that. Now, I know this could be confusing because I didn't have the original script and show you exactly what I removed. So to make it easier, you could just use the script that's in the file, because it's going to be linked in the description, and just change your class names. And if you didn't use lid, change the selection to your selection, and then your action open close to whatever you named yours. And that's all you'll really have to change. But then you'll just save your script, and then that's it for the scripting. That'll make it so it is an actual container that you can place, open, and close. Now this last config, the cfgmods config. So it's just a small basic config that has CFG patches and CFG mods. So all you're going to do here is get your mod folder name and replace the classes with it. So class would be your mod folder name for the CFG patches. CFG mods class name, same thing. Directory, same thing. Name, same thing. And then dependencies, since we have a for world scripts world, and then it defines the path to your scripts. So your mod folder scripts for world, just like that. You can just copy it, and then it will automatically read actions and entities, and then that's it. But don't use backslashes. You want forward slashes for this path. So if you do what I just did, paste it like that, change these backslashes, 2 forward slashes just on this config, just like that. And that's it. cfgmods script is done. So then all that's left is packing it and testing it. So I always delete temps. I always use material tools. I get my source folder, which is your mod folder that you just made, and then you crunch it. Now that we are in game, we test it. So turn on our tools, item spawner, type in our class name, and let's spawn it. And it's invisible. But I think I know why it's invisible. The hologram is showing up, so that's good. So let me place it. Alright, and we do have action to open and close. It's a little weird, I know, but it's invisible. So what we do is we bring up our config for our container, and we check real quick, and I can see now why it's invisible. So what you do first, you always check your path, but I am missing texture path. So I'm just going to copy this here, which is a vanilla, paste it right here, and grab the path to my CO. And replace what's there with that. Just like that. And then save it. And this is why we always test things. And then pack it again, deleting temp, just like that, and repack it. So now I am back in game after fixing my little oopsie. So now we're going to turn our tools back on and spawn in our container. And boom, now it shows up. It's big, but yeah. So now we're going to just place it down. Get it where you want. Hologram's working. There we go. Open. Got your inventory. Close. Now, like I said, this was a free model, so it sucks. It's not the greatest, but it's working. So now you just test, put something in it, close, and now you can't pick it up. So that's perfect. That's exactly what you want. Then you take this item out, close it, and now you can pick it up. So anyway, that's what you want. So if you have any questions, link to my Discord will be below in the description, along with link to this file that was made on the video, so you can use to work from to make it easier. This is going to be one of my last tutorials. I'll be making one more after this, and then that's it. I'm moving my way out of modding, and I'm switching focus to have the channel be more game content, entertainment videos, and did a little break from the modding. I've been doing it for about close to 6-7 years, so it's time for a little change. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for following along this journey, anyone that supported. The videos, tutorials will remain up as is, and my Discord will remain as is as well, and I will still answer questions and help people when asked. I just won't be uploading new tutorials except for the one more, which will be overriding and making custom melee damage. But that's it. If you have any questions, like I said, Discord's linked below in the description. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.